done.
So we want to go talk to Bell. Then we also want to go turn in the Dustman quest.
Are ye daft? We'll draw the lady's gaze if we stay here, we will.
Okay, I couldn't quite hear what Anna was actually saying there. And the text didn't appear above her head.
Aye?
Voice is maxed out. Okay. Anna, what's wrong? Next to you, Anna stiffens as she catches sight of Fel. Are you daft? Anna turns to you and you suddenly realize she's frightened. Are you so pig-eared to dance in the lady's shadow? You'll bandy words with this one. Let's give this place the laugh before we get penned in the dead book. What's the problem? It's Fel. Anna throws a fearful glance at the creature, presumably Fel. Let's be away, aye? No good'll come of being here, so it won't. What's the problem? He is a Davis who's not a Davis, aye? He walks on the ground. Anna's voice drops to a whisper, and she starts trembling. No more questions. Let's get out of this place, aye? Anna, no harm will come to you while I'm here. Now tell me what's wrong. Anna throws a frightened glance at Fel. Fel's a Davis who angered her. It said he's a Davis who isn't a Davis. And the time's close when the lady's gaze will fall upon him, I will. You mean the Lady of Pain? Aye, and heed your tongue. She makes another semicircle in the air in front of her as you mention the lady's name. The Davis worked for the lady and she protects him. Except Fel. He shudders. Let's be away, aye. I'd like to speak to Fel first. She grabs your arm. Please! Nay, nay. No good'll come of it. Anyone speaking to Fel could draw the lady's gaze. I do not want to die. I don't. To your surprise, she looks close to tears. Anna, no harm will come to you while I'm here. I promise. I just want to speak with him for a moment. For a minute, Anna looks at you. Then something in your gaze seems to calm her, for she steels herself. I don't know why. She shakes her head. Go on then. Talk to him. I don't care. There's an undercurrent of fear in her voice. Very well. The Davis waits patiently, its hands tucked into its sleeve. A series of symbols materializes above its head, then dissipate with a question mark appears. Did you do the tattoos on this dismembered arm I found? Fel examines it for a moment, tracing the patterns with his finger. He then looks up in a series of rebusses form. Hazy at first, then comes sharply into focus. The arm is yours, the tattoos are mine. One tattoo speaks of a time when your path was shared by 4 others. What 4 others? 4 strings of symbols swirl from Fel's head, matching the pattern upon the dismembered arm. They speak of 4. Shall I tell you their hearts?
Updated my journal.
Yes. The symbols swirl before you, and you piece them together. One unloved, one who loves one who does not love, one who does not see what others see, and sees what others do not, one who is familiar and bound with duty, one who's a slave and his chains are words. As you finish translating, the 4 strings seem to form themselves into links, and they merge into a chain. The chain bends until it is a symbol you feel you recognize. The symbol, what is it? The symbol sharpens, gaining edges that are almost painful to your eyes. It is torment. It is that which draws all tormented souls to you. Fel nods at your left arm, at your shoulder. The flesh knows it suffers, even when the mind has forgotten, and so you wear the rune always. 1 second, need some water? Okay. You mentioned there were other tattoos on the arm. What others? Bell examines the arm again, tracing the other faded tattoos upon its surface. As he does, they appear as a symbol above his head. Hazy at first, then coming into focus. He turns to face you. Once forgotten, now remembered. You may wear them again if you wish. I would like to see what these tattoos are. Can I see what you have to share now? Okay, hold on, dead. These are all limited uses. Tattoo of Anna. Only usable by thieves. Tattoo of the skull. Tattoo of lost incarnation. Grants experience points when invoked. Increases regeneration rate when worn. I wonder how much experience it is. I wonder if I can look that up. Hmm. 1,500 experience, but can only be used once. I wonder if it will trigger a memory or if it would just be like immediate experience. Okay, Tattoo of Wasting Darkness. This is also only for thieves. Weeping Stones. This is nice, but -1 charisma. I should actually double check what I actually have on. Yeah, looks like more of these do experience points. If they did more, I might be tempted, but it seems like buying all of these and using them all is like the equivalent of killing one Black Abishai. Great Enduring. Okay. So what do I have on? +2 Wisdom. That's good. +2 Intelligence, definitely. +2 Charisma. Okay, so I'm not going to be changing any of these. I may, by later on in the game, I may end up buffing, like my character may get naturally up to 25 Wisdom, in which case I can replace that with something. Anna has +2 Constitution, +2 Dexterity, and this is a leftover from previous usage. Con. +2 Strength, +2 Armor class. Oh, actually, that's interesting. This makes them, this evens out their AC. There's some stuff in the leather bag. Okay, let's talk to the con real quick.
What is your will?
Tell me about the other incarnation. I wanted to ask you about our travels. Incarnation. Okay. I don't seem to be able to ask him about the people we traveled with. Let's see if we, Dekan, can you translate for me? Ask him about the two tattoos. Dekan studies the symbols but remains silent. Khan, what's he saying? The arm is yours. The tattoos are his. He said anything more than that? Dakan is silent for a moment, and suddenly, instinctively, you know Dakan is lying to you. He continues on with dead-level tone. The rest of the symbols are not known to me. I think it is known to you. Why are you lying to me? Dakan falls silent again. He does not turn to look at you. He seems to be staring at something leagues away. The symbols. There is no good in knowing the answer to what you ask. Since when has not knowing the truth of something ever really helped anyone, Dakan? The counselor who counsels ignorance betrays his station.
Updated my journal.
There is truth in your words. That truth should be known to me. He's silent for a moment, then he turns to you, his eyes hardened. The symbols speak of 4 you have traveled with in the past. Go on, what 4 are these? Dakan isn't even looking at the symbols. That tattoo speaks of 4 minds. One was a woman who loved a man who knew her and knew not love. The other was a blind man who saw things no mortal eye could see. Another was a familiar, a mage's pet, bought and bound, and the last was a slave. Why'd you not want to tell me this? The 4 are bound with a symbol that is known to me. What symbol? The symbol is torment. He says you've always worn it, for the flesh knows that it suffers, even when the mind does not. What about the other tattoos? Oops. Okay, let me redo that real quick. Okay, is this just going to be a repeat of that? Dakan is silent again. I will not speak of it here. Ask when what we speak of will be only for the ears of those that walk with us. Okay, very well. So let's leave here and see if he will talk to us about it now.
What is your will?
Travels. When Fel was describing that tattoo on my arm, he said you knew the symbols. The symbols speak of 4 you have traveled with in the past.
Updated my journal.
What 4? You already heard this. And were you the slave? Dakan is silent for a moment, and the surface of his blade swims, as if in turmoil. Know that this one owed you a service. In owing this to you, it became his slavery. Okay, we already know about this part of the story. Yeah, what can you tell me about the 4 that traveled? The woman was young, she worshipped time, for in her blood she knew of things to come. The archer was a blind man, and he could see things that no other could see. The path of his arrows always led to the heart of an enemy. The familiar I know little of. See things to come. The woman's name wasn't Dayanara, was it?
My journal.
No, that Dayanara was the name she carried. What do you know of the archer? I know little of him. I know he was a soldier. I know that alcohol had taken a portion of his life. In blindness, he had come to know a different sight. In knowing this, he had become strong. Yet he did not know his own strength. What was his name? Before Dakan can even respond, you suddenly know the answer. There's a crawling sensation in the back of your skull, and you feel the name surfacing, as if from beneath a great muddy ocean. His name was Zachariah. He was blind, but in blindness he had gained a second sight that allowed him to see things hidden in others. He was an archer, and where his arrows flew, he found the hearts of a target. Know that Zachariah was the name he carried, and know that his name pierced the heart of many enemies. Why did you not want to tell me about the 4 on the tattoo? symbol. Do you know where we were traveling together? Know that the path was known to only you. And it was your will that we not know it. Know that those that walked your path knew only the symbol that bound them. How'd you become my slave? Know that this one owed you a service. Yeah. Already checked this, I believe. Yeah, I got it. Okay, cool. Alright, so a couple more things I could do. So I heard about these guys a little bit, but I don't know if I necessarily have a reason to talk to them. I heard about them from Ratbone. Oh, hey. I'm shy. Let's kill this while we're here. Oh, wow, we get a...
I'm gone.
wall up's pretty hard there.
Done.
Okay. So I want to go find Zachariah, who will be in the mortuary. I don't know where. I am tempted to maybe just look it up so that I don't have to go click on every skeleton and zombie. Well, yeah, let's see. Can you smuggle me into the mortuary? How about I pretend to be dead instead? Pox watches your performance without a sound. When you get back up, he speaks. Hi, Pox sells you. You want to be sold now? Yep. Okay. So the first time we do that, we also get a little experience.
All right.
Okay. See if we can learn about
is a lovely shade of ghoul green.
Zachariah.
Psst. Hey, Chief. You see the
All
way she
right.
was looking at me, huh? You see that?
Can use
See the way she
our
was
stories,
following the
bones,
curve
tell
of
and
my
things.
occipital bone?
I wonder if that's what we need to do for Zachariah. Okay, not learning anything yet. I feel like Zachariah might be a skeleton. I feel like I have that in my memories from something,
Now that's a sight for dead eyes.
but I don't actually know.
Ooh, look at this sweet cadaverous flower.
I could also try my stories that bones tell. On the post outside the corpse, outside the Dustman bar. Oh, I can also talk to Doll again. It's been a while since I've been here. I could also even try pickpocketing him. I have no idea what level of pickpocketing him might need for it to be
This one has almost all her parts.
successful, but we can at least
Hey, Chief,
check it out.
this zombie shit is scouting my territory, you know what I mean?
Okay. We'll try it and assume it will
Might as
fail.
well. Son's got nothing on him.
Pickpocket failed. Target has no items. Okay. Never mind. I think you can kill him and get an item. But we won't worry about that.
All right.
Didn't seem like he had anything else to say right now. I wonder if the Zachariah is more likely to be on the bottom floor or the top floor. Oh wait, hold on. The spirit blasts back into the body with such violence that with a single great muscular contraction, the corpses hurtle backwards. The body is on its feet again in an instant, dancing and thrashing about madly, waving its arms and popping its stitches, flaps of loosened flesh flopping about as it prances to and fro, eyes goggling and rolling about in its head, giggling madly all the while. I have questions for you. The possessed corpse sings as it leaps and whirls about, the volume and pitch of its voice rising and falling in random patterns. You are the spirit, I, the living. Answer my questions, you shall. Your confused expression seems to please it. It hooks its bony fingers into its mouth and pulls it into a ghastly grin, laughing maniacally and waggling its pasty white tongue. Very well, ask your question. The spirit seems to become calm for a moment, before exploding into a stream of mind-numbingly loud babbled nonsense. The cacophony is almost maddening. It threatens to drive you to your knees, and as abruptly as it begins, it stops. I don't understand. I do have a question, however. I am curious what would happen if I make him repeat it. Questions of the living shall both the dead answer thee. So it was, is it so? Shall so it be? You, my answerable questions. The look on your face seems to please it wildly. It begins to cavort so madly that you wonder if the corpse can take the abuse. You can almost hear its bones creak and fracture, tendons snapping as it spins and hurls itself about. As the spirit fades away from the corpse, its jabbering mouth twists into a knowing smile. Its wild, flashing eyes bore into you with the piercing glare of a psychopath, and it whispers a single, carefully formed word, drawn out like a string of precious pearls. Limbo. What? And with that it's gone, leaving you off no better and feeling slightly unsettled. The zombie quietly resumes its work. Okay, I want to check the, what happens if I do the chaotic thing? Okay, that doesn't seem to have any impact one way or the other. Okay.
Done.
Alright, super quick break. I will be right back.
Done.
Okay, nothing from that zombie. I think this is the fake one, right? Yeah. It's the false zombie. Okay, don't see any guys in here. And I think I already checked here, right?
Hello. I'm Mort, and your name was,
Okay. Actually, I think I may want to go, downstairs first, because I think there's probably less things down there. Although I'm not 100% sure. No reply. Okay, let's, go around this direction. Ah, there we go. What? The zombie is awkwardly getting its voice back, and he sounds alarmed. Who's there? Answer me. It is I. Do you not recognize my voice? It sounds familiar, but if you are who I think you are, then... Who? The zombie becomes silent for a moment. Who am I? Zachariah? What? You! The zombie seems shocked but gladdened by the lady's gaze. His tone takes on a sense of wonder. Aren't you dead, Cutter? Or are you? So, it's hard to peel away this filthy shroud skin and seals Zechariah the fool beneath. It is I, Cutter. Blessed be the powers, I thought never to see you again. But you've changed too, as far as my ears can tell. Have you been making poor choices again? He wheezes from his throat hole. Be you dead too? It's a long tale, but no, I'm not dead. Well, Cutter, I suppose being dead's not something one would doubt. Though, how can you talk to me? Your voice is as clear as a knife. What are you doing here? I am a stable hand in the most lifeless place of all. Be it that I could pass beyond the eternal boundary and have a plane to call my home, but much of my soul was squandered, and now here I am. What's it like being a zombie? It's honest work. The stitching comes undone from Zechariah's mouth, and his lips peel back in what might be a smile. I care little for it. And what led you to the state? His voice dropped, as if ashamed. It's a hard path following in your footsteps, Cutter, and many terrible things did I see. I took to drink, and became half-sodden with the stuff. Once again, when I was a sodding drunk, I signed my body off to the Dusties. Fate decided to kick me when I was down, and I died shortly afterward. Can you tell me about the mortuary? The place of the dead, run by the dead. There's some things not right here, though. Like what? I'll tell you the dark of it. There's a zombie that pretends to be a zombie, but isn't. I don't care much for knowing the reason why, but it's a strange thing. Which zombie is it? Even if my eyes allowed me to see, I can't make sense of numbers. Here's how you know him, Cutter. His voice is wrong for a zombie. He doesn't respond the same way as others. We already found that one. Anything else strange? Another thing, that old Gisseri, the one that keeps the preparation room, Daw, he's saved you from cremation a score of times. You're lucky to have a friend in that one. What did Daw do to me to save me? He just postponed your creation until you popped up off the slab. Not certain why, really. Should ask him about that, because that doesn't seem in line with the Dustman philosophy. What can you tell me about my previous life? Why, have you forgotten yourself? In a manner of speaking, yes. Well, you were a strange one, always suspicious and watching out for something. Reckon somebody like you had got enough enemies in your lifetimes. And there was no denying that anybody who messed with you ended up in the black chapters of the Dead Book. Anything else? Anything specifics? You could be damnably ruthless, too. Like when you made me sign that contract, or abandon that one mewling chit on Avernus. We had a baler of a time as well. None of us ever entertained the notion to jump ship on your watch, son. Anything else? At your core, you looked at what happened to you like taking territory in a war. Everything was like a battle to you, and you were the most ruthless bastard I ever near meet. Naught else mattered except for solving that goal. Poor Dianara, with her sobbing and pleading with you, didn't sway you none. The Gith warning you about your strategies, and poor Zechariah just trying to hold on when we hit the plains. You were tough like you couldn't die, but we were only human. Now I guess we're all in the Dead Book. We're in and out of it, so to speak. Anything else? You left something when you left us, Cutter. You left a con without a master, and the skull without a friend. Me? You stabbed something so deep inside me it never came out when I was alive. Caused my blood to run cold, it did. That thing sitting like a lump of lead in my chest. What is it? I don't know, but it changed me somehow. Changed my insides. I was already dying when you put it in me, so I wasn't too concerned about it at the time. Okay. I'm a little worried that taking it will, like, kill him or something. So I'm gonna double check. The Gith. Grim-looking Gith, unfriendly and silent. Like all their kind. Didn't trust that Gith a lick, I didn't. See, Cutter, them spindly Giths care only about two things. Keeping out of slavery and killing them squid-headed illithids. Everything else is just lower down the slope. And he didn't give a damn about any of us other than you. Why was that? One of the darks I never did bring to light, Cutter. Perhaps you can tell me. What about the Wailing Advocate's daughter? That feisty Chit, who would be a soldier, swore she'd follow you to Beator and back, and by the powers, she was so addled by the thought of you without her, she did just that. Cared little for me or the Gith, and a bare little it was. She was wild with heart poison for you. She was. Proof she was barmy. I don't understand what the women folks saw on your scarred mug. It set their blood aboil. She was some rich scut from the clerk's ward, and you needed something from her. And the only price was that she came with you. What did I want from her? He doesn't know that one either. Floating skull? That filthy talking skull was hankering for a bruising, so it was. Always smarting off it was, and making fun of my condition. You were blind, Archer? That I was. You truly have forgotten, haven't you? All men see with more than their eyes, Cutter. Some of them better than others. I sense the hearts of my foes. Your foes. And my arrows always struck true. Ah, those were the times. Okay, same thing. Okay, I think we covered everything. I wanted to retrieve that object now, Zechariah. It's buried pretty deep, but I have an idea where it is. Without a scalpel and some directions from me, you won't be able to get it. You got a scalpel? That's okay, glad I held on to that. Then open me up half a hand's width below the sternum and feel around for it. A little more to the left, a little more. Your hand closes on an object. Pull it out. You pull out a zombie liver. By the lady's gaze. Apologies, Cutter. I thought them dustmen took all those organs out of us before pulling us. Out of the dead book. Give it another go. Maybe it's to the right. There you go. Now go a little to the right and back, a little more. You feel something hard and cold. Slightly larger than you expected. I think that's it. Pull it out. You are holding a blackened, fist-sized object that is extremely heavy for its size. And that's it, all right? Huh. Bigger than I thought it'd be. Is that? What is that? Looks like a heart. I think so, Zechariah. Thanks. Before you go, I need you to do me a slight favor, Cutter. What is it? His voice drops, as if ashamed. I made some mistakes. Some damned bad ones, to be sure. And one of my biggest was signing the Dustman contract. If I hadn't been so sodden with Bub, I never would have done it. I regret it, and I was hoping you could set it right. How? Way I reckon, this body's gonna last a long time. And every day's too long to me. Could you maybe gut me again, Cutter? For old time's sake. The thought of spending another batch of years here in the mortuary with these white faces is a mighty cold one. And you see fit to put me back in the dead book where I belong? That's your wish. You gut him, and Zechariah falls to the floor, heavy with a thud. There is a faint hiss from the body, and you see the chest heave once. Then with a faint rattle, the corpse goes silent. Okay. What did we get? A liver. Zachariah's liver. Curious what that is for. I have zero memory of that. Zechariah's heart. Minor artifact. +1 to dexterity when broken. +1 armor class versus missiles. Okay, it doesn't actually look like I can use it. Only usable by fighters. Yeah, this blackened fist-sized object looks more like a lump of burned charcoal than Zechariah's heart. It's extremely heavy for its size, and cracks run across its surface. It looks like it might break in two at any moment. Handling it leaves strange rust-colored streaks on your hand that won't come off. Something about the object's weight makes you curious enough to study it for a while. Upon closer examination, what you first took as Zechariah's heart is, in fact, a stone. As far as you can tell, there's no sign that this was ever living tissue. How Zechariah survived with this beating in his chest is unknown. Whatever blessing was laid upon Zechariah's eyes that allowed his heart arrows to fly true has left its mark upon his heart as well. When Zechariah's heart is broken in two, the breaker of the heart will gain a portion of Zechariah's sight, agility, and perception. This gives the breaker a bonus to their dexterity and a chance of dodging Any missiles aimed at them. Okay.
What's up? Good is done.
Oh, that's interesting. I can actually give it to someone other than my main character. Huh. Curious. Probably main character is the right way to go, though. Let's switch to fighter real quick. And buff my dexterity. Oh, that's interesting. I could have done less dexterity buffing in the game. If I get a permanent +1 from that. Although I guess dexterity is just good to have anyway, so that's fine. And it would have taken me quite a while to get to that part, and I needed the 13 dexterity earlier. Okay, get back to mage. Alright, I'm gonna go talk to Deonara just to see
1 foot in the grave. All right.
if he has anything to say to us. Oh, here we go. I should probably go to stories Bones tell on everything here. It seems like a few of them have special things. The corpse reels for a moment as the spirit revisits its one-time home. Its almond-shaped eyes become dark once more, a faint brown cast creeping over the pale flesh. It straightens itself, brushing the dust off its clothes. At last noticing its collar, the ghost peers at you for a moment with curious eyes, then bows slightly. Bow in return. The spirit smiles for a moment, as if pleased. He composes himself, standing with one hand behind him as he speaks in a soft, lilting tone. Yeah, that's gibberish. That being said, he appears content to stand and wait patiently for your reply. You understand my words? The spirit pauses for a moment, as if to think. He then begins to speak again in a thickly accented, yet deeply refined voice. You must forgive me, honorable sir. It has been no small length of time since I have had to speak your language. No doubt my spirit has been summoned here to answer your questions. What is it you wish to know of me? Who are you? Who I am is a difficult question to answer. Who I was is not. I was known as Zhuang Bei, tutor and bodyguard to Liu Ziji, daughter of Censor Xian. Tutor and bodyguard? Yes, it's not so uncommon where I hail from. It was my duty to stay by Miss Liu at all times, not only to keep her from harm, but to educate her. I was regarded as a scholar of some repute, as well as a swordsman, you see. Perhaps I would have served her better were I a better swordsman, though. Did you fail her somehow? I will tell you the entire tale. As the tutor and bodyguard of Liu Ziji, I am of course charged with both her education and defense. One fair evening, we were standing on a balcony over the courtyard, or as teaching her about the various constellations. Just a second. Please go on. Of course. As we stood there, 2 assassins suddenly burst down from the rooftop to the balcony, most likely there to slay or kidnap Miss Liu. Shouting for the guards, I drew my blade and leapt to her defense. In the ensuing battle, the balcony's railings were shattered, and the 4 of us fell into the Jade Portal. Jade Portal? Oh, pardon my assumption. The Jade Portal is a circular pool that lies in the courtyard, paved with tiles of green and white soapstone. It is called the Portal because it is said, at times, glimpses of another place appear reflected in its shimmering waters. As I was saying, we fell into the Jade Portal. I had never imagined it was actually a portal, in any sense of the word, but sure enough, it was. I suddenly found myself lying in an unfamiliar alleyway, my leg broken. I reoriented myself only in time to see the assassins fleeing. Liu Ziji tossed over one of their shoulders. Go on. Well, that's mostly all. I limped about painfully until I found someone to heal my leg. They took what little coin I had as payment. From that healer and others, I learned the tongue of the people here, all the while scouring the place for the 2 assassins in my charge. Never found them? I hunted down one of them, but he would not speak. I executed him and kept his head in a silk bag, so that I could bring it back to the censor when I returned his daughter to him. He frowns for a moment, then continues. The other assassin eluded me. He did more than that, in fact. He slew me before I could kill him and rescue my charge. Sad, but it's all behind me now. Would you have known how to return to your land? No, but I am confident I would have found a way. A moot point now, really. I wonder if they're still in the city. Perhaps I could help you find this girl. Your offer marks you as a noble man. However, no less than 75 years have passed since I was slain. The man who assassinated me is long dead by now, and most likely is Gigi as well. Wanted to check one thing here. It's odd how quickly you were able to pick up the language. Linguistics, in fact, is an area of great interest to me. When I became a scholar, I found I could learn new tongues with little trouble at all. Where are you from? I was from a place called Shulung, a place I once regarded as the center of the universe. He seems to find mild amusement at the thought. So many places, so many worlds. I once considered myself a truly learned man, yet truly knew so little when I died. Hold on. Where did I heard the tale? How did you end up here as a zombie, I mean? I was murdered by one of the men I fell into the world with. I had been hunting him in the city for many weeks. It was during this time that I learned your language, but he found me first. As a professional assassin, he caught me unawares and slew me as I slept. Do you know how your corpse came to be working here? That. I was approached one night by a young woman on the street. She was from an organization called the Dustmen, the same that oversees this complex. She proposed to me that in return for a small sum of money, that my corpse could be used here upon my demise. Didn't seem a bit odd? Perhaps at first. The idea is a little bit macabre after all. But after speaking with her for some time, I realized that they, the Dustmen, feel much the same way I do regarding death. My body? A vehicle only, nothing more. I believe their true death to be the exalted state that I, personally, seek to attain, total release and detachment from the material world. Should my corpse, having served its purpose as my mortal shell, manage to serve some small purpose here, so much the better. Spirit smiles at you politely. Where are you? Where your spirit resides now? The spirit seems pained for a moment. My spirit resides in the realm of the illustrious magistrate Yanwang-Ye, the Palace of Judgment. Something wrong? Well, you see, the spirit stops for a moment to think, rubbing the corpse's withered hands together. When I arrived, after a short period of waiting, I was to be ushered to my final, true destination. However, there was some sort of commotion during my escort through the palace, and I was left alone in a side room with the promise that I would be attended to in a moment. And, well, you see, no one has ever returned for me. I waited quietly for what seemed like days, but it was no avail. I eventually left the room to wander the palace, hoping to find someone to direct me. He sighs softly. The faint scent of embalming fluid carried it with his exhalation. There are 9,001 rooms here. Each one I have passed through, I was merely directed to another. I seem to have fallen between the cracks. For the time being. Anything I can do to help? Your offer is too kind. I am afraid, however, that there is nothing you can do. I am sure that in time I will be sped on my way. Again, though, thank you. Final destination? Where are you to be sent? I couldn't say. Also very frustrating. He pauses for a moment to regain his composure, the stiffened joints and tendons of the cadaver creaking softly as they relax once more. What do you know of this place? This building? Nothing at all. I had heard of it, knew my corpse was to serve here, but that is all. I know almost as little about the city. Sigil. My weeks here were spent searching for the men I fell into the world with, blah blah blah. And learning the language. Though it pained me, I had time for little else. I could have learned so much from the myriad wonders of such a place. What was that you spoke when you first appeared? Oh, that was a poem. Difficult to translate. You have another question? No, but I'd like to know more about this poem. Very well. He thinks for a moment, tapping the ends of his corpse's long, bony fingers together. Soon he begins to speak once more in a steady, measured rhythm. It is difficult to meet as it is difficult to part. The north wind has weakened. Hundreds of flowers fade away. When the spring worms die, the silk shall never come again. When the candle wax becomes ash, tears shall stop. He smiles at you politely. So you're saying that I should have left your spirit alone? Have I offended you by calling you here? Well, no. I had hoped not to be so direct. Avoid a confrontation, you see. It is only that I no longer desire to have any part in this. He makes the spirit makes a sweeping gesture to indicate everything around him. World. I understand. Very well, then. Okay. Curious if any of these others have
Rigor mortis has
stories to
never
tell.
felt so good.
We may check in on Dayanara, see if he has anything new to tell us.
Done.
My love, you have returned to me. Can it be that your memories have returned? I shall wait for you in death's halls, my love.
Okay, so she doesn't seem to have anything else to tell us. Okay, let's check in here. I assume... Pretty sure I already did everything in the middle here. Alright, let's go up and do stories that Bones tell on all of the undead up here, just to be safe.
Done.
Skeleton worker. Okay, nothing. Nothing. Nothing.
I think I'm in lust.
Nothing for that one either. Morty's still getting horny at the sight of female zombies. For a moment, you think this corpse is simply too far gone to reply, but suddenly, you recognize true misery etched into its features, and feel behind it a sense of despair so profound that the spirit must have returned to its shell of old. I would ask you a question. It speaks in a slow monotone, the voice of one broken and one without hope. Even now, it's nearly indistinguishable. Oops. I clicked something by accident. From a soulless zombie. What would you know, my lord? How'd you end up here? As a zombie, I mean. I was murdered, my lord, by robbers. Filled with drink and stumbling through the alleyways of the hive, I became lost and eventually fell prey to a band of thugs. 'Tis just as well. My life was probably worth less than a few coppers a collector may have gotten from my corpse. Collector? Yes, my lord. A collector, those who gather the dead of Sigil and haul them to the mortuary, where we stand now, for a petty fee. The spirit takes a moment to look at his surroundings, then sighs softly. What do you know of the mortuary? Very little, my lord. Only that the dead are brought here to be interred or cremated, or used as laborers. Who are you? The spirit speaks so softly you must strain to hear it. The corpse's mouth barely moves to form each word. I am no one, my lord. A wretched insect, clinging desperately to the wasting tower in Oinos. I was once called Erebime, though, my lord. So long, so very long ago. Wasting tower? Yes, my lord. 'Tis a mighty tower, far greater than the highest of sigils. It has the appearance of bone, my lord, like the spinal column of some gargantuan creature. It is there that I toil, repairing the damage done to it by the armies of my master's foes, his rival princes. He's the master. I know him only as the master, my lord, the lord of Kinwain. He's a fiendish prince, an ultraloth of awesome power. It's he who owns my soul, and so shall forever own it, a petty thing doomed to languish beneath his foot until eternity grinds its way into oblivion. Tell me of Kinwain. Yes, my lord, 'tis a mighty tower. Oh, wait, same thing we already heard. Where are you from? I lived in Sigil, my lord, in the Hive. 'Twas not so awful a place as I once thought, now that my home is Oinos. The corpse blinked slowly. So slowly that for a moment you thought it had simply shut its eyes. The Hive? Yes, my lord. A wretched place, but not so dreadful as Oinos. Why do you have such a base opinion of your life? I would not speak of it, my lord. Not worth discussing. The spirit seems immovable in this matter. Where are you, where your spirit resides? The spirit closes his eyes for a moment, the corpse shuddering slightly. The horrid Oinos, my lord, in the grey waste. It is there that my soul has been confined, in the shadow of Kinwain, the wasting tower. There's little more to say about Oinos, my lord. 'Tis the land of my master, the land of Kinwain, full of anguish and disease, a rot which decays both body and spirit, a place of utter hopelessness. Why are you wrought with such despair? There's nothing else for me, my lord. Trapped for eternity, in the pestilent waste of Oinos I am. No hope for one such as I. Seems to descend into an even more pathetic state, the corpse's shoulders sagging beneath the weight of his sorrow. What do you know of this place? Very little. Yeah, that seems like all we can get from him. You do not realize the spirit has left the corpse until, with shuffling steps, the zombie returns to its labors.